Pirc, the worst opening, says K. Yeah. Well. We are going to see. We are going to see, friends, how that is gonna work out. I think I'm gonna play a game, just one, to wait for the crowd to build before we get into our lecturino today. Cheers, everyone, by the way. Yeah, I think there will be a few people that will be surprised about how attacks in the Pirc and in the modern can go both ways, actually. And granted, I'm not a big advocate of said opening, but yeah, there is a fair bit of fun to be had there with black pieces if you know what you're doing. That's for sure. So let's see if I can land the game. That would be handy. I will also remove the second chair from behind me. Alright. So yeah, I have been actually looking for some very good Pirc games, and I have found already a fair number of them, so we're definitely... Oh yeah, no, all good, buddy, all good. Controversy. Because that's what the chess world needs, right? We don't have enough of that. Fair enough. How's everybody doing, by the way? All is well. All is fine and dandy. I have got a Discord message. What does Discord say? Alright, so we have got a game. We have got a game going and... Oh, there we go! There we go! I am just... Wow, couldn't have asked for more. So now we are going to... yeah, announce our topic with... G6. G6. G6 Reno. So since this is our topic today, it is only suitable that I got a game in this red hot mess. Oppo wants to chat. All right. Let's go knight f6. Because if our opponent has committed to knight f3 already early on, the 150 attack with f3, queen d2, bishop h6 is now out of question. Thank you, Mr. Yuzim, for the Sabrino. Hey, Kaparov, what on earth? Thank you, Yuzim. Thank you. So this layout is not exactly optimal. Because I will be able to bite into it and then here, and that usually equalizes in the Pirc/modern without too many dramas. Yeah, so he's clearly listening in. No, I'm joking. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, the only downside of playing knight c6 e5 in the Pirc is that if they take on e5, then you have got a fairly dull, symmetrical structure with not a lot of fun. Like, in general, people who play the Pirc, they play it because they would like to enjoy a bit of a counterpunching chess style, right? And that's not what we get if I play knight c6, e5. Obviously, I could play for c5. Like, one idea would be knight a6, c5. But with the bishop on e3, bishop takes a6, pawn takes, and then dc would be potentially annoying. So let's go knight a6, let's say knight c3, c5, bishop takes, pawn takes, dc. Queen a5? Yeah, that's definitely wonky. That is definitely wonky. So if we go here, he has to go knight c3, otherwise I have knight, pawn c3, otherwise I have knight b4. And if e5, we're gonna get the 100%. That is exactly the structure we want to avoid. By want to avoid, I mean, objectively, that's the best I can do. But that's the least fun. Actually, wait a tick. I can go here because if knight... Yeah, I will do this. Because if knight c3, I will have knight b4. Yeah, I thought that c3 would come. And now if c5 take, 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 then I can pick off e4. So let's go. Now, the much better question is that what on earth am I going to do if they just simply ignore me and they castle? And the answer is, I didn't think about that. Because I'm a smart player. Actually, I can take d4 and then play knight b4 and the bishop can't stay on the diagonal. Yeah, these are definitely not the type of Pirc games we are going to look at today, by the way. Also, if you guys are watching, I don't know how or why, but it looks like I created a bit of a gap on the left side of the board. So there is a black line running on the edge of the screen. Do you prefer to have that there, or would you prefer to have the chessboard up against the wall completely? Yeah, c6 was the old way, but even if I do go c6, b5, eventually I have to play some sort of central break, and that inevitably would have to be e5. The Austrian attack is definitely one of the most challenging against the Pirc. The other one is the 150 with f3. Which is what I recommend in my club levels, the club players opening course. Yeah, that's logical. So now after take, take, knight b4, he can drop back to e2 without hanging this. Yeah, my knight is a bit weird now. This is definitely not how this opening was meant to go. I'm thinking playing rook b8, b5. For the shitties and the geeks. Is that totally dumb? Probably, because it occurred to me, right? Yeah, let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's have some weird fun. Yeah, it does give that pro vibe. Like, I made it by accident, and it turns out to be pretty sleek. The line on the side of it. Yep, let's roll. Let us roll, ladies. Hey, Jazz, how are you going, bud? Howdy. Yeah, I was wondering if he was gonna go for a4. So now we have got b4. And the interesting thing is that if they play queen a2 to tickle the knight on a6, I can actually take c3 because d2 hangs. Then I can take d4 because e3 hangs. And when they take back, I can play knight b4. And be super impressed with myself. Which I'm, generally speaking, quite good at no matter what. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I like to shuffle things around a little bit, Jazz, and lately I have been having a bit of a giggle and fun. With the Pirc. And thank you, iZeon11, for the follow, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm playing Uno game, and then we are going to get into lecture mode. It's a fun opening to muck around with, I figured. Especially for those, by the way, who play the King's Indian with black. Because then you are already quite familiar with the structure, with, you know, the bishop being developed to fianchetto and all that jazz, so yeah. Yep, as per anticipated, and now we are going to go into... So the reason why we want to trade both this and this is so that we can go knight b4. And after knight b4... Oh, I actually blundered. Well, I didn't blunder, but I overlooked rook b1. I was about to say that we are going to get one of the bishops no matter what, but that's not quite true. I genuinely wonder if the guy is listening in, by the way. Eduardo, how are you going? And Ian Curtis is in the house too. Welcome in, ladies. How are we going? Do I look dashing today, or is that a waste of a question because I always do? By the way, guys, does... Whoa, not that. Oh, knight c6. I was about to say that that looks really bad. Until I realized that we're losing an exchange. Oops. Guess who didn't reckon with this? Oh well, that's when you pretend that that was a sack. That was a sack. And you just roll with it. A healthy exchange sacrifice in order to split the white pawns. That's a story we're trying to sell. It's not gonna work, by the way. Neither the sack nor the story. What? Bishop c2? Did you just walk right into this? I expected there e5 or something to that effect. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was bright. But then again, I'm talking who just blundered an exchange, so speaking of bright is not quite fair. Okay, now queen b2 is an idea. And there are various knight jumps available to tickle the rook, but since rook b1 is a tempo, I'm a bit reluctant to go with that. Queen he looks delicious though. It's a pesky move, and pesky moves are pesky. So let's do this. Also, because I am a decent human, I am aiming to play for the time and flag our opponent, because that's how you play rapid chess online. I should come back to this topic, guys, because I don't know if we have enough people that we can get a definitive answer to this. But does anyone know if the World Championship bids have been considered and decided, or is that still in limbo? What's the call there, ladies? So what does he want to do if I take this? Knight f3? I suppose. Okay, well, I will take it. No, apparently not knight f3. But bishop d3. Now that kind of piles up these pieces, so now rook d8 appears to be quite attractive. Yeah, let's go. Not decided, I think. Okay. Because I would really like Singapore to win. And I have got nothing against the Indian bits, by the way. And in general against the Indian... yeah, I mean, India and chess is just almost the synonyms right now, right? So no problems there. But if Singapore won it, that would put the World Championship closer to me in terms of geographical proximity than ever before. Jazz, you live in Singapore, right? Or am I still confusing you with another guy? Yeah, I thought that here I had knight f4, which looks like... Oh, wait, my queens are hanging. Oh, wait! Freudian slip again. Knight h4, f5. Hello? Takes. Rook b1, rook takes. Yeah, not quite as perfect as I would have liked it. Even the trade, by the way, looks like an idea worthy of entertaining. Oh, Jazz, you do live in Singapore. Yeah, I thought so. So that would be pretty epic, right? Queen c3 is interesting. Knight here and then maybe knight h5. With the idea of knight f4. g3. Sheesh kebab. I need some time, man. This position is so fun. Worst comes to a takes 94. Rook 8 d1. I don't know, man. Maybe just back. And then c4 is awkwardly on. Yeah, okay, let's do this. By the way, I only reckon with this, but this is also a move. Yeah. So, I don't know what to do, because if I now move the rook away, the knight c3 is a threat, but also rook d7 is annoying as hell. So I think I'm just gonna drop back. And I casually forgot about this, which is very stupid of me. But I think I have rook c8 and then kick the rook, and c4 is hanging in the interim, so it shouldn't be too bad. In fact, now c4 is hanging. Rook d1 might be a move, by the way. You seem, I wouldn't say no to that, although I announced a different topic altogether on YouTube. But who am I to say no to 5 subs, right? $95. Oh wow, Yusim is quick. So isn't this losing an exchange to bishop here, by the way? Yeah, it is, right? Because the rook can't move. Thank you so much for the 5 subbies, Yusim. Thank you, buddy. This feels like, yeah, things have gone real sideways for white. That's interesting. Says Kramnik, bishop a6. Knight c6. Rook c7. That could be a trap knight there, but maybe I shouldn't get too cute. Yeah, I want chaos. Chaos is good. When your opponent has got this little time in general to play moves that create problems and complications, is a good strategy, provided the move is obviously not an objectively inferior one. But jumping into c6 and then having to deal with this knight, and also having to deal with the pawn, it felt to me like this is the type of pressure I want to put on my opponent. For example, now I can win a second pawn with bishop c4, which I shall do. Rook e1. No, rook d1. Okay, well, that's weird. Now it's gonna go back. No, that's also weird. So now we go here and then b2 to target the pawn here. Now he's gonna go here. Yeah, these are really bad moves. He needed to seek counterplay with rook in right away, which of course I would have denied, but now he's just dead. Because he can't go back. But to be fair to them, there was no time left on the clock, so obviously they made a lot of rash decisions. Yeah, they're trying to go after the pawn, which is not bad, but perhaps it's not really relevant. Oh, I shouldn't have blundered that, though. Okay, that was a bit unpleasant. Wow, I didn't realize that he was going to try to flag me. That was a bit dirty in the end. With 7 queens down, I thought that resignation was incoming, and instead I nearly fell asleep at the wheel. Okay, let's have a very quick look at this. In the meantime, Yusing, can you send me the game that you wanted me to analyze, please? Oh, 86. Not bad. 86. Okay, so apparently... Let's see how we went opening-wise. Yeah, knight a6 was a bit dodge. I'm guessing knight c6. No, e5 right away. But that's essentially the same story. Rook b8 was bad. So what's the point here? Because I thought that after take, knight b4, bishop b1 was playable, because it didn't have enough time to play b6, bishop here because of a3. Maybe queen here is the plan? It looks like that. You seem another Canadian dude. Cool, cool, cool. No, apparently just bishop d7 and then drop back is the engine's reco. I didn't like this, to be honest. So I'm not particularly upset that I didn't go for that. b4 was poop. Okay. Well, I didn't fancy capturing this. b4 was the plan all along, but apparently a bad one. And I suppose the reason why this was a bad plan was exactly what happened in the game. Yeah, we lost this exchange here. Apparently we're dead lost here. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, bishop c2. I told you right away that that didn't look right. Okay, bishop a6. Good. c4. Queen b... Hello? Oh, apparently queen c7 is even better. Or less worse, I guess is a better way to put it. Or less bad. Wow! Like, there is not a chance that I can play 2 moves back to back without making a mistake. Knight h5 was considered by me, but I didn't play it. And apparently now we are good. I nearly said something really bad, by the way. I wanted to say we are good and we are A-OK. And when you say good and A-OK and you merge it into one word, interesting things will come out of your mouth. Yeah, then the rest was just rushing through the game. All right, so before we dig into our main topic of the day, which is gonna be... Hey, Fat Belly in the house! How are you going, man? So before we go into the Pirc topic, we have got a game submitted by Yuzim, who cashed in 5 subbies for the game analysis, so let's do that. Very good opening already. Now, Yuzim, one thing you need to know about this very early c5 is that the best setups for white usually exclude c4. So you play e4 immediately, and you do not play c4. And the reason for that is because you would like to retain that square for this knight. So we are going to do this. And the way we do it, quite often by the way, as in quite often the motif here is to give a check, which confuses the black pieces in terms of what goes where. Because if bishop d7, a4, bishop g7 and knight f3, they can't play bishop g4 now, which is what they want to do to deny this maneuver. And after castles, you get to go knight d2. And also the bishop on d7 is real bad because it's the knight spot. But taking is also quite shady because then after the pawn takes, you have additional pressure here. And then the knight is coming to c4 and you are absolutely killing it. Now, c4 is not a mistake, but it allows black to transpose back into, oh my word, to Benoni, Benku, whatever. Well, we do play h3 in certain Benoni lines if you follow my course, for example, but here it's, yeah, not necessary. Yeah, bishop g4 is a shocker here. Yep, it's all looking great so far. Oh boy. Yep, either take looks actually very promising. Yeah, there is no good reason, Jazz, why people would play the old Benoni, because it's very clearly a vastly inferior version of the modern Benoni with no benefits whatsoever. You're playing a great game, by the way, with white here, Yusim. I'm very, very impressed. This was a bad game to submit because I can't really critique your play. a5 is great. Back, bishop d3, great. e6. I'm wondering if we want to engage. And I think the answer is yes. But I don't mind the move you played at all. But because of your opponent just offered you to completely soften up the light squares, I would go after them like crazy. And now this pawn is going to be traded off, which means that the d5 square is going to be yours. This diagonal is going to be weak as heck. Yeah, this is what I would have done. Maybe castles first, and then f5, or f5 right away. This looks like $1 million. But once again, castles is fine too. Okay, now it's definitely no question. You absolutely must capture this. Yep, very good. Dude, what the heck? Like, it's a 1400 guy and he's playing like almost identical moves to what I would play. That's either very good or very bad news. Tindy! Dude, I am just about to kick off with the modern / Pirc lecture. And I just played a modern. Very poorly, by the way. So, you couldn't have come at a better time. I just am analyzing a game from the dude above you, Yusim, who is playing like an absolute trooper behind the white pieces. E5, very good. Bishop, as in F5 was great. Bishop c2, great. Man, you are on fire. Yeah. I'm getting there. Okay, this is the first move that I don't necessarily like. And I tell you why. Because there are two things that are happening here. Number one is that with f4, you are hoping to open up the e file, which is not going to happen. Is it called there? Bloody heck it is called. It is called. So f4 is the first move I dislike because you are not going to accomplish what you want to accomplish. They are not going to take. When you take, they will take back with the knight. And basically what you're doing is that you upgrade this really, really terrible piece into a pretty decent defender. We have no interest whatsoever to do that. Instead, we should have developed. And now you are optimally aiming to trade both knights for a bishop each, so that we can have a good knight, bad bishop scenario. Okay, queenside castles looks really, really bad too. Queen f3, good. Oh boy. Rook f8. Wow. Engine stop move, FYI. Brilliant stuff. So we want to play g5 and then penetrate on d5. This is typically a move that hardly any 1400 would even consider, let alone play. I'm very, very, very impressed. What? Okay. I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, great. Also, picking the correct piece there. Wait, what? Sorry, Jado. Apparently, I forgot to put the bot on. Thanks for the reminder. Chatbot is not functional, apparently. Bishop e4, great. 94, rook e4. 95, please take it. Please take it. Please take it. What a guy. What a guy. Get out of town with this 1400 BS, buddy. Get out of town right now. Oh my god. And then they walked into a queen fork. This is, guys, what chess looks like. This is bloody brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is such great chess. I mean, granted, they shouldn't have blundered the queen, but even after queen d6, if you play queen e4, a beautiful light squared blockade, 700 extra pawns, b4 coming, bishop e3 coming, rook d1 coming. Why sack there? Now, there is a very easy answer to this, which a lot of people wouldn't even consider. I tell you why. Because if you look at the Black Army, there is one piece out of all 5 of them that in terms of quality is great. And the rest of them is red hot garbage. And so if you can eliminate that one piece, pretty much at all cost, you are left with dominant white pieces, or I should rather say dominant white pieces and pieces that are just about to become dominant, versus a big sack of hopelessness. That's why you sack. And this is a typical textbook case of a non-calculable sack, and nor should you try to calculate this. It's purely a positional judgment that you look at this position and you go like, black can't do anything at all, ever. Whereas with a knight on e5 in your face, they can still hope that there is some action gonna happen. Yeah, so that was a brilliant call there. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I don't actually know about getting the knight to b6. Like, if they played, for example, queen b6 here, I wouldn't touch this knight until it's completely terminal. I would play here queen e4, bishop e3, maybe b4, maybe rook d1 first, I don't know. I would pretty it up to perfection before I touch these monsters who will ultimately decide the fate of the game. In fact, b3, bishop b2 is quite dirty to win e5. So yeah, there is myriads of plans here, but your opponent casually walked into the dumbest royal fork there is. Neat. Very good. Very, very, very good, man. That was next level chess. That was not 1400 level chess by any stretch of the imagination. Absolutely not a chance. Okay, chatbot working. By the way, 0 blunders, 0 misses, 1 mistake by you, and 3 inaccuracies. And a grand total of 87.9 accuracy. That was just sensational. Wow. Well, I usually give a lot of grief to peeps, but you managed to circumvent that by sending me a near perfect game, buddy, so you outsmarted the system. Well done. Now, we are going to finally kick off with our, what do you call that thing? Lecture, I suppose. So we need an analysis board that is present here. And we need a game. We need a game. Alright, we are going to start with... You're welcome. With Summerscale Aaron against Boris. Aaron Summerscale, I should rather say. Against Boris Avruk. 2 youngsters at the time when it was played. We are going to have a look at this from the black side of things. So, kicking off with the modern. I like to say that I prefer the modern move order over the Pirc move order, because I find that there are multiple cases where we actually benefit from the knight being still stationary at g8, in particular against the bishop e3, queen d2, bishop h6 plans. Knight c3, d6, bishop e4, exactly that. So when your opponent does this, you know that they want the 150 attack. My recommendation, by the way, in my club players 1e4 repertoire. And so here it's well worth diverting from the pits by either playing a6 or c6. Either case preparing for an immediate queenside assault. And when they play a4 to shut down b5, I then usually like to flip it back and play knight f6. Because now I am far less afraid of the kingside attack, because queenside castling, having played a4, seems a little bit dodge. b6 was played. I dislike this move a lot. But there is a logic to it. It's not only, in fact, primarily it's not about bishop b7. So what is it all about then, chat? What is it all about? Let's see what chat reckons. It is c5 exactly. It is c5. We want to back c5. Yeah. Bishop e2, another slight weird move. Now, you know what's the most hilarious stuff here? According to the engine, for a while the best move for black was knight c6. Now, I would rather bite into my hand and play knight c6 there. And c5 is clearly worse, according to the machine. There is no human, not a single human on planet Earth, who would prefer here knight c6 over c5. Zero. I guarantee you that. Yep, knight f6. So now we have a Benoni structure. But with this a4 thrown in and bishop e2 played a bit too soon. Queen d2. I don't see a reason why white shouldn't play knight f3 here, but whatever. Rook d1. That's really odd. That's really odd. And here, black played an absolutely sensational move. Absolutely loving it. By the way, please do not, I repeat, do not ask me about the meaning of Rook d1. Because I'm absolutely and utterly baffled by it. 94 is hanging. Don't do that. I'm guessing you wanted to pick off b2, but then c3 traps the bishop in as well. So, yeah, buddy, but you need to be a little bit more realistic. So when you do this on account of let's open up the center, I don't even know what you wanted to follow it up with, by the way. You need to take into account that this is your current level of development. So you're not gonna hurt me. Now, bishop g4 is really bad here because of f3. a6, a4 is normal in the Benoni, but it is not a Benoni because the pawn is back on c2, right? It started off as a Pirc. Well, see, the funny thing is I wanted to tell you, Mr. Twitch Pimps, that you were actually right in your desire to want to sack. But you sacked the wrong type of dude on the wrong square. Wasim Alibi says he loves my content. Mr. Alibi, I'm assuming from your first name that you are from some Muslim country. Is my assumption correct? Bishop h3. Wow. You are cranking it up, buddy. Bishop h3. No. Remember, this is not Take Me Chess. Hands up if you have got Chess Principles Reloaded Center Chessable course by this guy. Tunisia, right. Welcome in. It's bloody early in Tunisia, man. Did you wake up to pray or something? You must have, because it must be like, what, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? Ah, Tikari has center. So Tikari, who has studied the center course, will tell you what a very common method of challenging your opponent's center is when said center is quite dominant and secure space advantage to your opponent. No, I'm not putting Tikari on the spot at all. From the wing. That's right. And so immediately we land on b5. Best move on the board. When your opponent's development is also lacking, in particular their king is uncastled, these wing thrusts can be very obnoxious. And it's difficult to connect it to the king, by the way, because you go like, well, big deal, buddy. Like, how is this going to impact my king? And I tell you how. It's because it keeps you busy. So you don't have time to do this. In fact, you are going to observe in this game, which was by no means played by the rookie, by a rookie, that it is now quite difficult for white to find the time to complete development. Let me show you. Take, take, take. What do we do now, ladies? We sneeze. Twice. Oh, Courtney, that's heartbreaking. But rest assured, you can watch the rest of this because it's on YouTube. Queen a5 moves have been recommended, which is almost perfect. The problem, yes, Queen b6 is correct. The problem with Queen a5 is that it's one-dimensional. We are threatening with this. But if White defends that, it's not so simple to follow, to find a follow-up. However, if we go here, then we have an additional target. So what do we do now? Welcome in, JR, by the way. Bishop a6 is quite logical, but there is an even more obvious move here. No one said it. Quite interesting. You don't see this move too often in similar structures because White usually has an a-pawn. Yeah, exactly. Rook a5. It's a weird one because it's not part of the motif structure that we're familiar with, like the bishop a6 ideas from the Benko. But simply, no way to defend the bishop. No good way to defend the bishop, that is. Really cool stuff. White played queen d3. What's the problem with this move, ladies? Actually, knight g4 is a really clever idea. I wanted to giggle, but I take my giggle back. I love this. I absolutely love this. It's wrong, but I love the idea. And I tell you why it's wrong too. After takes, and whichever way you take, bishop h6 is gonna gut us. But I really, really like the idea. The tactical strike with knight g4 to blow up things was brilliant. But the thing is, your position is so good, you don't even need to do anything tactical. It's just then there is a regular developing move here that causes immense trouble. For black, white rather. Wow. I got there in the end. Bishop a6 second best. JR is scoring the goal. Knight. Knight, friends. Knight. Because that threatens knight b4. And provokes, or rather tries to provoke takes when bishop takes would cut the king off from castling, right? Definitely knight a6. King d2, oh my lord. I tell you who cares. The guy who loves sacking is the guy who cares. So let me show you a model variation, yeah? So let's say I play, well, first of all, what do I do with white? Because if I play knight b4, knight e2, you can't drop the queen back, yeah? So what do you do with white is the big question. You actually don't have a useful move. But I will play a pass to demonstrate the idea, yeah? So h4, knight b4, queen e2. You with me? And now I can go knight a2 is one of the tactical ideas. And the other one, I could sack an exchange. And the third one, which is the best, is to play e6 and blow up the center now like you wanted to do it earlier. Whoever followed me, thank you. You are a legend. Yeah, white just can't get out, basically. King d2 was played. The intention was to cover c2. Yeah, I know. Knight b4. Queen c4. And e6. This is, guys, what it looks like when things go absolutely perfect for you in Pirc structures. Casting by hand, hello. ED, ED. And now I want you to enjoy a bit of glory and sunshine. What do we do now? Pretty much every single legal move wins. Which one is your favorite? Oh, dusting and flying in the house. And better hands, better Hans friend. Oh, better than... Okay, I couldn't read that. Rook 8 hangs, yeah? So we wouldn't want to go there. I do like bishop f5 a lot. But there is already tactics available. Knight a2. Wow, we're so winning. We are so winning. When knight a2 wins, you know you are winning, right? But I want to play a move, guys, that smacks the opponent in the face real hard. Bishop f5 has already been recommended. And I acknowledged it. My favorite move, guys, is this. Why is that this didn't occur to anyone? Oh, it did. It did occur to Tindy. And Loner Friend too. And Baton is also joining the crew now. Yes. Knight takes. Knight takes and b5 is loose. GG. What's the cleanest finish off, ladies? What's the cleanest finish here? Yep, that's it, Dusting. Very good. You redeemed yourself immediately. Check, 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 check. GG. Cheers. Alright. I hope that I managed to whet your appetite. We are going to move on to another super boss of the Pirc. Dude by the name of Chernin. Alexander. If I could manage to bring bloody chess base up, that would be delightful. So good a month ago. But then you had a kid, eh? Alright, next game. No, I did not manage to copy, apparently, the correct game because I'm a potato. Give me a second. Dude, we are on YouTube right now. So, yeah. We will give that one a miss. And by the way, welcome in. Love you too. Alright, so Chernium with the black pieces. He actually used to play the Pirc with the Pirc move order. Alright, ladies. Let's go. What is black's only legal move in this position? Only legal move. Everything else is red hot garbage. You have to be super careful with e5 breaks when we are pinned here. Apparently, by the way, a simple knight f3 is quite problematic to meet. According to the engine, this is best. I thought that we would be doing great for white after, let's say, take. Oh, knight f3 here is also very brutal. You can't take because e5 wins. Yeah, not e5. No, not this time. Yes, it's very important to add the effort in the end, Twitch up imps. Otherwise, it's not gonna have the same effect. c5 it is, yes. d5, and now we took this thing out of the e5 push. And that's why it was absolutely imperative to play this, because if you play a random move, then e5 and we are going to get pushed back to the 9th rank. So c5 is very important. d5? What do we do now? Lucy plays chess. Lucy, this is the so-called Pirc defense, which most English-speaking dudes and dudettes incorrectly call the Pirc. But we are less ignorant than that, and we call the dude the way he was called. Now we are looking at a game, but the opening itself is the Pirc defense. Named after our good friend Vasya Pirc. Castles I would hold back a little bit. It's very important to get our counterplay rolling as soon as possible. Queen a5 I don't mind actually. I like Queen a5. Pawn e6 loses on the spot, yeah, because after takes, d6 is hanging. That's a motif you want to remember, by the way, that in Benoni structures, it's almost always a dodgy idea to put the knight on d7 before playing e6 if you plan to play e6. Exactly, a6 best. Knight f3. Now, a4 here is a problematic move to play. I don't really like it. Here. Because you have got queen a5. And it pins the rook. So now we re-prepared b5. Good to go. And also queen b4 hitting b2 and e4 is an obnoxious threat. I dislike b5 here, of course, because after ap we can't retake because we're pinned. But queen a5 is very strong. So, knight f3. What do we do now? If you play b5, wasn't played by the way. Well, first of all, what's white's next move? Let's talk chess instead of just randomly guessing stuff. What is white gonna do when once we play b5? Like, unless you are playing against some complete potato, they are not gonna let you play b5 without some kind of a punch that they are hoping to place on your nose. Yeah, exactly. So if you play b5, we are facing e5. And whilst it's not bad, it's not the best we can do. Now, black here found an absolutely genius way to take the sting out of e5. Queen c7 is legal, but it's very passive. I don't like it. I take it back. I don't mind it, but it's very passive. This is a very tricky move to find if you haven't had plenty of experience in the structure. And yet, Tindy immediately lends the winning blow. Well, it's not winning, but it's brilliant. G5. Played. According to the engine, only second best, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a strategic genius, which needs to be celebrated. This is basically the kingside version of the Benko gambit. Yeah. Like, who cares if you're hanging a pawn? Actually, I would like to rephrase this. This is not hanging a pawn. This is sacrificing a pawn. That's two very different stories. No, it's not sus at all. It's brilliant. Take, take, take. And now... Yeah, exactly. And the most important thing is that we're not castled. So there is no kingside initiative to talk of. And now with the e5 square in our control, which by the way later we can completely dominate, black has beautiful play. By the way, this h6 g5 pawn sack idea is also very commonplace in some Sicilian lines, like in the Najdorf and classical Sicilian. a3 was played. Now that, whenever you get this against b5, you know that you're doing something great. Because that, first and foremost, it doesn't stop b4. Which immediately makes you go like, so what the hell is the point of a3 if it doesn't even stop b4? But it's difficult to recommend anything decent at this point because b4 is such an obnoxious move. Like the engine wants queen e2, which is just ugly as sin, blocking in the bishop. Anyway, a3 played. b4, of course, no questions asked. Take, 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 which is another horrid move because white has a lot of weak dark squares, and so trading a dark squared bishop for a knight is going to, yeah, compound the problems that white is having at the moment. Do we take e4 or do we not take e4? That is the question. AKA to be or not to be. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? No. We could not have taken on c3, but good question, because the bishop takes back. So the answer to this dilemma of whether we take on e4 or not is that of course we do, because this pawn is a shadow load more valuable than this. And so there you have absolutely zero reason to not to take e4. Take, and bishop f5. Beautiful development. Rook b8 is now pending, putting pressure on the b file. It just looks absolutely delightful. That being said, black here had an alternative that was perhaps worthy considering. What was the other move here other than bishop f5? No, it's not a5. One more trick question and I'm unsubbing. I love you too. Knight g3, guys. Knight g3. Ta-da! Tacticos, friends. Tacticos. Tacticos. And then we grab the two bishops against two knights, and that is just sensational. Don't go there, fillet file to get failed to fish. Don't go there. Ask Levy about that one. He's the expert on the Indonesian matters. Knight b6, rook b8, of course. Check, king f8. Knight c4. What do we do now? You must play a sexy move here, otherwise we are not friends. Oh, Python Dave! Coming in with the goods. Can you provide a line, buddy? Jacob the Snakeab. What a name. Well, come in, buddy. Okay, well, your feel is perfectly on point, and that's often the most effective way to determine your candidates, but then to turn a candidate into a sound move, we need to figure out what's going on there exactly by calculating lines. But rook b2 is definitely the move that you would want to try, because if it works, it's just glory days. No, no one is giving any lines. Okay, calculate with me. Rook b2, knight b2, and that's where the key move comes. What do we do after rook b2, knight b2? I'm reluctant to ask this question because Tindy is going to unsub. Definitely not knight c3. Bishop c3. So this is the idea, guys. Takes, and then check. Not take, check. Because what this does is that it forces the white king to one of these two squares. It doesn't matter which one. After which, when you take b2, this is hanging, but this is also on. And it doesn't matter where the white king is for that motif to work. Guess what happened here? You guessed correctly. They resigned. Note, by the way, that after king d1, if I take here, then this is hanging, and this is hanging too. So, good luck. Good luck to you guys. Good luck. I particularly like the g5 break. That's a motif that you want to remember forever if you play the Pirc. That this h6 push has the benefit that on occasion you can bite into business with g5. Renga, where the heck have you been, buddy? We have been running the show for more than an hour, bruv. Tennis, you have been excused. You have been officially excused. Your sins have been forgiven. No atonement needed. Better than golf? Well, I most certainly agree with that now, but I guess in 20 years' time, when every part of my body is broken, we will need to re-enter the conversation. I'm trying to load the next game, but Chess Bases is like, yeah, not the most cooperative of softwares. Let's just go with that. Well, the g5 idea is not necessarily a modern idea per se. It's much more a motif to utilize when there is a bishop on h4 and a pawn on f4, which once again is far more frequent in Sicilians. Actually, I think this is a good time to take an irregular commercial break. And that commercial break is going to be like this. Challenge. Name a software that is a bigger piece of poo than Chessbase. When will I address the Hikaru chess drama? Never. No. Apple is absolutely a goldmine of brilliance compared to what Chessbase has been doing to their software. A goldmine of brilliance. I actually don't know what happened with Hikaru. I think Tindy is just stirring the pot. Or are you referring to the Alireza incident? Which I don't even know what that was other than the fact that Alireza was part of it. Streamlabs. Touché, Fat Belly, touché. Yeah, I can't care less, man. Like, whatever. We are here for chess. Alright, next game. Hernandez, Guerrero, Gilberto, Eduardo against Karen Movsesian. This is gonna be another banger, by the way. Well, Hikaru doesn't care, and I especially don't care. So let's focus on chess. So this is another common strategy. Like I told you, very often we play a6 or c6. Now, when I say common though, against the Austrian attack, I don't trust this at all. I used to play the Austrian with white. And if you played c6 against me, I would be like putting a smiley face on the score sheet. No, I wouldn't, but I would be more than delighted that you play this garbage. Bishop g4, bishop e3, and queen b6. This is, yeah, this is the ultimate don't play chess like this with black. Okay, I know I'm presenting this to you from the black's perspective, but this particular line is red hot garbage. Put it in the bin and leave it there. Queen d2 best move. Knight d7 and castles. And this is exactly the problem. That black sets out to attack these two, and it turns out that neither is touchable. Because after queen d2, if you take d4 is still sufficiently guarded. And if queen takes b2, then rook b1, rook b7, and we are dead. So I think this opening was a catastrophic failure for black, but credit to them, they recovered pretty nicely. Queen a5, king b1, yeah, b5. And that was the first tentative move. H3 would have been probably better. Rook b8, rook f1, that's another meh move that does nothing. b4. Knight e2, knight f6, queen e1. And now that we were allowed to catch up, now it's time, ladies, to begin our operation. Moves, please. Moves, please. What would you do? Everyone is yelling c5 at me. Fair enough. c5 it is. We want to crack the diagonal open. We want to bite into the center. That's perfecto. Castles would have been fine too. Castles would have been fine too. Queen h4. Duck. Duck. And now I need another move. And you're not allowed to say castles anymore. Baton says c4. Are we happy or are we upset about the recommendation of c4? Oh boy. Is the guy trying to sell me a Bible or something? What the hell is that comment? Okay, so c4 was played in the game, which as a motif I like, but it turns out it's by no means the best move. The engine really likes queen c7 to prepare c4, but my greatest shock is that apparently d5, e5, and then c4 is a great way to go about life. And if they take, you just casually take back and the bishop is trapped. But I like c4. It's very thematic. It's very thematic. And according to the engine, very bad too. That's why you love the engine. Knight takes. And apparently here f5 would have been very, very obnoxiously annoying. Sheesh. I guess the idea is that if you take, maybe there is queen h5. Is that it, Mr. Engine? Ooh. Hello? Hello? Ouch. I missed that one too. Or maybe I was the only one who missed that, but boy. That was some sexy stuff. Ouch. So we must play d5. But then after bishop d3, now white's play on the f file is becoming quite annoying. Knight c3 check is more or less forced. But after take b3, it's not so easy to get to this king. Because queen a3 is always met by bishop c1. And if I do this, well, first of all, I can't. Second of all, yeah, I have ways to deal with that. Ouch! But, oh, it was found. There is no but. Sheesh. This is the game. Wow, okay. So take, b3. Okay, there is a really clever idea here for black. I wonder if anyone can figure this out. The idea is to somehow keep the ball rolling and try to keep on attacking. I really need to pee, by the way, which is a very important piece of intel that you need to know. Does queen a4 do anything? No. h5, that's a suicide attempt. Rook b4. Baton is the big guy here. Rook b4. Very good stuff. It threatens with a potential rook a4, guys. Which is very annoying. Oppo plays king a1, and that, I think, was a blunder. And now comes a genius idea by black, which I also didn't see. What do you do? What say you? Bishop takes d4 is hanging. Knight c5 is second best. But once you see the idea of the pin, please explain to me why you would go to c5 and not to e5 where you are hitting 2. Nah. I don't believe in the rucksack. After queen d3, you still need to take d3. You want to do this? You know what's ironic? That the refutation of this is actually this. And these are the moments when you start hating chess engines, chess itself, in fact life itself, because it felt like we were so close to glory, and it's all gone out in the window. That thread there just ruined your week. Not your week, like your entire, yeah, I don't know, year perhaps. Okay, what if I castle? I want to continue this for shits and gigs. Takes rook b8. Who is winning? Oh my god! I am so glad I did this. Because you would be like, and black is winning. Black is winning, right? And there is one move here that wins for white, and everything else is bad. Not true. One win, one draw, everything else loses. Winning move. Hello. Holy. And now you can't retake like that because it's mate. You can't retake. Well, you have to retake like this. But now every move wins for white. Rook check wins. Bishop h6 wins. Even dc wins with the idea of queen e6 check. Oh my god, I didn't even know that this line existed when I loaded this game up. OMG, bishop g6. This is why you want to watch my stream, guys, because this type of stuff you will not find anywhere else. Same goes for YouTube. Wow! f6, castles, fg, rook b8, and I'm literally 2 moves away from smacking white. And just bishop g6. Surreal. Instead of rook b6, rook b3, rook a4. What does it even do, bruv? I just take it. It just hangs the rook for nothing, no? Make a YouTube video on this. This is getting broadcast right now to YouTube. Queen b4, rook b1, mate. Like, hello. And your queen is not hanging? Tindy, what are you smoking, buddy? Wakey, wakey. Your queen is hanging. Wakey, wakey. Yeah, f6 was just bananas, man. Absolute bananas. Guys, can someone explain to me what Tindy is smoking? Like, he's telling me that this is a check. What? Dude, what are you on? You know I love you dearly, but bro, you need to just... Whatever you are on, you need to put that stuff down right now. You overdosed. Yeah, f6. You would play king d8. How is that a move? Like, you are just passing when every single piece you own is hanging, right? Like, you give them to me, I'll take them. That's how I treat this. And when you go here, I will do this. Just to be very sadistic about king d8. Yeah, at least castles brought the king in, but boy was that beautiful, that bishop takes g6 idea. Oh my word. That is worthy of a thumbnail. Okay, let's move on. So, after rook b4, king a1, we went knight e5. Which is the right move. Rook h3. That's the point when you are thanking the Lord for not castling earlier. What do we do? Yeah, well, you were not here earlier, man, with Head of Dog. Like, the training game was crazy good. Absolute bananas good. So what's our move now, ladies? Oh, that's cool moves. That's all good. Brazy, thank you for the follow. Knight d3 was played. Rook d3. What do we do now? I actually didn't turn kick on. So what the move, ladies? What the move? Bishop takes d4 is a very cheeky move. I like what you're doing there, but queen a3 is the simple way to go. Yeah, but that's always the if they do blah, then we do blah, but they don't have to do that. Whereas now, there is no other move that plays than rook takes c3. And what is our response to this, ladies? Python Dave says bishop takes d4, which is second best. Rook d4. That's the real deal, ladies. That's the real deal. That's the real deal. So the idea, of course, is that bishop d4 is met by mate. And any other move is gonna be met by rook d1 with Matutsky. And the queen is hanging a little bit. Smurfette, you just missed the move of the day, but because of I love you so dearly and because you used the correct way to enter the conversation, I'm going to show you the move of the day again, which we saw in this line. So we looked at rook takes b3 followed by f6. And here bishop takes g6 is the winner chicken dinner for white. And I will leave that on whilst I take a very quick toilet break. Bear with me and we will continue the Pirc / modern lecture. Be right back. Alrighty, friends. Alrighty. Next game, if I can bring it up, that is. Have I already had a big rant about what an absolute piece of poo chess base is? Because I'm just about to enter a second rant. Okay, this is gonna be another epic carnage city. Smurfette says she is 1000 Lee Chess Classical. Who are you trying to fool, lovely lady? Wait, someone is how many beats? What? To do a lesson with someone who doesn't know how to play chess as a collab. 5 million, I suppose. Okay, I don't know how to copy this without the comments, and .com wouldn't accept this game with the too many comments. I don't know how to copy pure PGN. Maybe I can find it online. Give me a second. Yeah, this is not gonna happen, guys. I need to find a different game. Which is a pity because it was a truly brilliant one. Just bear with me for 1 sec. Holy hell, this is chaos. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Jesus. This is a blitz game, by the way. But it looks to me like a delicious one. So let's have a good look at this. Nicoletta Sturgeon. Why do I have now an urging to Google Nicoletta Sturgeon? Was it a terrible dad joke, or will we let it slide? Oh, I didn't know that this was a politician. Let it slide. Yeah, that was an additional dad joke. Alright, let's go back into the realm of chess, guys. That's where I feel home. So, proper fair Dinko mastery and attack with bishop e3. Now, the usual main line is bishop d3. And after bishop e3, b6 is actually a valid, legit main line, because we want to play c5, and that's the only way to prepare it. Smurfett, stop distracting me, please, with ladies. Queen e2, bishop b7, e5, knight d5. I'm guessing that for the time being we are not super excited about life. Knight d, bishop d, castles. Ooh, I hate this move. I really do. Queen d7 is recommended by the machine with a very unique way of deploying the queen. e6 is just ugly passive. As was king b1 according to the engine, by the way, and h4 was called for. Alright, ladies, let's begin. Let us begin. I need some oomphy moves, please. We want some oomph. A5, no, slow and passive. Well, it's, I can't call it passive, but it's very slow. C5, DCP, very good. You don't want to prevent C4 because you have the check as a response, so you don't need to worry about that. C5, 100%. However, Now I have a few questions. What do we do if they take this? I agree with you, Seb, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah, funny, Python, my first instinct was c4 too. But the fact of the matter is that you actually want to creep the friction on, and the best move is just simply to retake. Because you also want this to happen. Like, this is our dream scenario with black, because now the bishop is firing. And with the subsequent knight c6, rook b8, we are killing it, man. I was hesitant to consider this because of the pin, but of course c4 is not playable because of the check. Right? So, as a matter of fact, takes is bad. But none of this was played because we played knight d7, which is lame. Yeah, I don't know what Juneteenth is, but whatever. h4. Finally c5 arrived. But now it's gonna be neck and neck, man. They should be playing key h5 and just pursue the attack. Out of curiosity, guys, what would we do here for black? I really love the engine stop choice. What is your move here with black? F5. Ooh, knight g5 will look ugly. H5 will look... No, I dislike F5 very, very much. Let's try again. B5. Aggro as heck, but B5 is... you're missing the target there, Tindy. Like, it's 7,000 moves by the time you get to the white king. So, nah. No, we need to play here with the pieces more than with the pawns. Queen b8. I actually don't mind queen b8. It's ugly, but it's good ugly. f6. I did not read that. So knight f6 is the top move, which I really, really like, because it exploits all the white gaps in the white's position in one move, and it sacks the pawn in a really attractive fashion. Exactly. So after take, bishop takes knight e4, with these two bishops barraging down on the white king, everything apart from bishop d4 is an insta-loss, and here we just have knight g3. That's it. Sensational play by black here. And when I say black, I mean the machine, because we played rook c8 instead in the game. Which in comparison is very pale. h5. And now knight f6 was played. One move too late to the party, but we arrived to the party nonetheless. Yeah, it's super impressive, man, that every time I sack a pawn, it is like a tragedy and a half. And every time the engine sacks a pawn, it looks like, oh my god, that's a new chess god. Please, folks, if you play the Pirc, embrace the concept that often you have to allow this. You just have to. And don't freak out on account of, ooh, that's scary. Yeah, it is a little bit scary. But how many moves does it take for white to mate you on the H file? 1, 2. And then they need to play at least another 2, but more like 3 moves to eliminate one of the defenders. That's 5 moves back to back. That should be plenty enough for us to stir the pot in the interim. Yeah, Dragonistas will relate to this. Now that was poop. Obvious check. And now I want us guys to build up the attack. Now black is already way ahead. Way ahead. Yeah, exactly. This is very strong dragon vibes. Yeah. Queen a5 looks appealing. I would certainly not argue with that. But you need to bear in mind that this d pawn is becoming super obnoxious. Queen d7. Nah. That's unacceptable. Brazy is coming in with the goods, ladies. Rook c6. The idea with queen a5 is correct. But the move order is what matters here. Because if we kick off proceedings with queen a5, then this pawn becomes a pain in the bum. And also, knight e5 denies this. Rook c6, work of a genius. Knight g5. Bishop f5. g4. Knight g4. Not with the bishop. Because then we would still win. Rook d6 is already completely winning for black here. But bishop f6 is good. What? I didn't realize that that's how this game ended. Okay, what do we do, guys? Let's go. What do we do? Everything wins, but I want sexy. I missed the comment there. Dang it. Hey man, in a recent vid, you did something. Was it a YouTube comment? I missed the YouTube comment. Piss off, Smurfette. I have been showing you like brilliant, absolutely brilliant games. And now there's a little bump in the road and you're complaining. Unbelievable. Oh, that was actually Sasha roasting me. That's awesome. Thank you for roasting your coach. Nice work, buddy. Now, okay, 6 guys. And then the idea is to sack. Okay. Who gets to finish this? Let's see who is going to spot the trickery first. Rengout spotted it first, apparently. Oh, Casual Dad in the house. I hope you have been around for a while, Casual Dad, because I did a few absolute bangers I'm looking at a Nepo blundering into Royal Folk in a Blitz game. Well, you can watch it on YouTube, and you should. Because this was a banger. And now I'm looking for another epic game. Yeah, Queen A3 is, by the way, the mate. Just to give credit where credit is due to Rengao. What was the answer to what question? I did not see the question, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a non-blitz game if possible. So what do we think so far, folks, about this Pirc business? Good, bad, not excited, wanna try. What's the word? Or just ignore me completely, please. Ah, Tindy.
Loving the Pirc stuff.
Okay, I will show you another shocker. This is actually 15 moves. And white goes down. Like an axe without the handle. That's a Russian expression, so I think Casual Dad might be familiar with that one. Check this out. The auto chat says Pirc too. Yeah, of course it does. Oh, that's perversion, Sepchess. There's no way that we would go into that. It's Pirc. Get out of town. Alright. Funnily enough, I used to play this with white. The idea is to not to conduct a kingside attack at all. At least not for the next 15 moves. The idea is to play an extended fianchetto with bishop here, knight here, bishop here. And the knight often jumps to g3. If you hate playing against the other kind, it means that you don't have my e4 course, which makes us wonder about why are you here in the first place. Because if you had my e4 course, you would have a brilliant line against the other kind, which it takes about 3 minutes and 47 seconds to memorize. So shame on you. But I forgive you because you gave me 500 TDs. Yes. So if takes, it's always queen a5. And takes, and then triple love. Alright, from here on out we are going to be rocking the house. Moves, please. For black. What would you do? Sepchess, that's exactly the line I recommend. That's exactly the line I recommend. Oh, the King Charles the Cavalier is donating the subby because he is a legend. So, we simply castle, and the reason why castles is a very good move here, apart from the general values of castling, is because there's a pawn on g5 that makes the bishop trade on h6 impossible. So even if this pawn comes down and... Oh, cheers. So even after the trade on h6, the open h5 is not going to yield anything. They play knight a6 because they are not as good players as we are. h4. By the way, knight a6 is often played to drop back here to support b5. But first he goes queen a5, so the queen is outside of the business. And then he goes into a bit of an adventure. I am very rarely a fan of this, because it just, to me, feels like the queen gets trapped half the time. E.g., what the heck if I play a3? Oh, queen b2 and he wants to sack a queen. Or maybe not even... Oh yeah, I can wiggle out, I think. Yeah, because the knight on a6 covers the c7 thing. Fair enough. And now castles. Okay. What do we do, ladies? What do we do? F5 is third best. Yeah, so the dilemma is, do we want to give up this bishop for the pawn? And the answer is yes. Takes, check. But where do we go now? Where do we go now? I would play a different move than the engine recommends, and so did the white player, the black player here. Yeah, so the engine says you are a loser if you don't take this, but I go here, and so did the black player. Knight f3. Curiosity. Give me a numeric evaluation in the chat with black to move. I'm very curious what you guys will say. -2.5. I thought, Casual Dad, that you hated this because it was the Pirc. And now all of a sudden it's all about love. I'm confuzzled. I am absolutely confuzzled. So, the machine says a rock solid -3. -3. -3. 95 though would lose the pawn and a lot of the advantage with it. Instead, knight b6 was played, pressuring this and threatening pretty much every single bishop move. Because it's an extra pawn without any risk whatsoever, and the engine is a materialistic beast. Okay, tell me why this one was a blunder and why the game ended on the next move. That was a very anticlimactic game, by the way. I want to find a new one. That was disappointing as heck. I don't think that bishop a3 is legal. Yeah, it's very difficult to go there. Tindy wants to go to a3 as well. Wow. People are getting very, very excited about life. It's neither Sep chess. It's because white played absolute dog chess. Loner friend, you are my man today. You are my friend today. Bishop g4 wins the piece. Bishop G4, Rook E3, and what now? There are 3 winning moves in this position for black. If you could name one, I would be impressed. Stir Fries, you're welcome, buddy. You are welcome. This is where chess education happens instead of the usual mumbo jumbo garbage. Wow, Rengao! Trying to be the top student? Holy shimazoli. Yes, so both rooks to e8. Pinning the rook, thus hanging the knight, and knight c4. Wow, wow, wowee. So this chat is... Oh, come on, King Charles. Aren't you happy with that? Looks golden to me. Yeah, I don't know. Knight c4 looked good. A lot of things looked good, in fact. Phew. Fun than Anand Dubov game, guys. Do you want to see it? Chat goes in unison. Nope. Admittedly a blitz game, but nonetheless a super sexy one. I think we might finish on this one. I like it a lot, actually. It's gonna be a little bit different in terms of structure and topic, but yeah, multiples of pins are always very cool because they are so rare. They are very common in chess problem composition. Those are good players. Yeah, that's a way to put it, I suppose. All right. Last game of the stream, ladies. Let's get rolling. Yeah, no questions so far. OG. OG. Now, in this position, a lot of players like to play bishop b7, but you need to be very careful when you decide to allow e6. I don't know how good it is here. I wouldn't be afraid of it right now because the knight is not on f3 yet, so the imminent knight g5 is not imminent. But yeah, Rengao, the difference is that the modern is g6, bishop g7. The Pirc is knight f6, d6, and then g6, bishop g7. So basically the modern is trying to be a little bit more cunning with move orders and stuff, because often the knight being kept back helps to hold back bishop h6. Which I did say at the beginning of the stream, which you chose to not partake in because, I don't know. Oh, you went to tennis. I wanted to say Craven, but it wasn't because of Craven. So knight b6, e6. Now this is more or less forced because, yeah, after bishop b7, eventually e6 is gonna be a problem. Now, however, you do see another benefit of not having moved the knight to f6 early on for black. I can utilize both of these delicious squares. a4, knight c4. Give me your bishop, said the Pope. Tack, tack. Queen e2. What to do, ladies? What to do about that pawn on c4? What is your move here? Brittany's dad died. Is that an alternate account for Brittany Zamora? I think was the name of that account. Knight d5, pretty good. Well done. Castles is the engine's top choice, which just casually hangs the pawn and no one cares. Bishop f3, d5. That's a curious idea. Yeah, I think I would bite into this and then you will have this backward pawn. Dubov played knight f5, which I like a lot because it prevents this. And after bishop f2, now castles is much better because if we take, then bishop takes f3 shreks the pawn structure completely, right? If you guys tell me what the best move is in this position according to the engine, I'm going to just, yeah, call you the greatest heroes of all time. Nah, I have no messages, buddy. I'm busy with chess at the moment, but thank you for asking for my expert opinion on the matter. So, best move, guys. You will not believe it. Oh, wow. Everyone was quick to look it up. At g5. What a move. And what's even more insane than the move itself is the follow-up. Because after g4, everyone saw what the response to this is, yeah? Which is d5. And we just casually keep on munching pawns. And now if knight e4, then obviously we take f5. I don't get it either yet, but I'm getting there. So now after knight e4 takes, knight g5, I'm guessing it's gonna be queen d5. Yeah. And the mate threat on the long diagonal is a temporary, no, sorry, a permanent issue. It's actually beautiful. Think about this. In order to stop the mate, I need to play a knight to f3. But whichever knight I put to f3, its buddy gets attacked. And I can't move because then that hangs. That is sensational. And if I drop back this knight, then I attack the other one. That is definitely beaut. That is definitely a beaut. Bishop g3 when? After when? I don't get that question. Needless to say, g5 wasn't played, by the way. After queen d... Dude, the mate is on h1. Hello? Oh, you want to escape here. I see. Okay, well, let me get back to you. Bishop g3 here. And you want to slither out, yeah? Yeah, but check, check, and rook here wins the queen, yeah? Yeah. Check, check, and see ya. Queen f3 is a move. In fact, it's one of the best ones. And then after h6 we again have the same problem with the knights guarding each other, which is always bad. And after c3, one of the knights will have to drop. But this is actually one of the better ways to play it. Anyway, let's see how the game went. Z Nation! Game went c5, which is a beautiful, very logical move. Same intention, by the way, ironically, as g5. Undermining the whole centaur. Takes e5. This is very thematic. And as such, according to the engine, total garbage too for black. Takes. And knight d4. And that's where Anand dropped the ball by playing queen g4. Apparently queen c4 was the way to go. Allowing black to capture this. And then develop everyone. And after bishop g7, knight e4, this position looks optically super good for white. Perfect piece harmony. Knight is coming into d6. The bishops are not doing a lot. This is just a beautiful demonstration of piece activity again. Instead, Anand went queen g4. Bishop e5. Similar line, but you can see that now the knight is a little bit offside compared to this. f5, the key move. Queen trade? No, thank you. Who can tell me why this guy's is not good? If you answer this question correctly, I will be very impressed. Wasn't played. You don't get enough material there, late night blitz. That was my first idea too, but it's not gonna cut it. It's actually better if you just retake here. Because taking on c3, like I said, it's just not enough material. Takes, check, I don't know, king h1 takes. And yeah, perhaps just jump back and we are down on exchange. And 7,000 pawns. So whilst attractive, not good enough. Alright, let me give you a hint. Queen c6 is the first move. James Henderson is onto it. Aposa in the house, thank you. So what do we do here? Bishop a4 is very talented. Which bishop do you want to go to a4 with? DH Germany. Oh, Germany! I don't talk to you, buddy. Germany beat Hungary in the Euro yesterday, or the day before yesterday, after the ref basically gave a free goal to them. Well, what do we do after Queen here? Not quite. Let's go again. Good idea, bad execution. Bishop e5, that's correct. Not a4. Bishop e5 indeed. And what do we do after queen g5? Bishop f4. And I think this was the motive in the game too that decided the game. Queen c6. Yeah, and Anand dropped the ball here with rook d1. And he forgot this. Oops. Nah, it's all good. Actually, it wasn't the German player's fault that the ref was a moron. So no hard feelings there. You know what's curious about this blunder, by the way, is that Anand chose to play knight d6, which means that he discarded knight b6. But if he hadn't seen this, then why on earth did he discard knight b6? Because he lost to this idea of queen c6, bishop here, meaning he didn't see it. So then what was his reasoning to not to play this? Maybe he just didn't like this position. I guess. Have I studied any games of Brea? Yes, of course. The guy was a genius and Hungarian at the same time, which is the most common combo when it comes to Hungarians. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was our intro study into the modern. And I got excited about this whole business, so we might do another one later down the track. All of this was streamed to YouTube in case you want to rewatch it. Casual Dad and Rengao and all the naughty ones who joined in too late. Thank you very much, guys, for siding with me for this short journey. And if Lifong is still on, which I'm checking right now, we might throw a raid his way because he raided us recently. Yeah, he is on. He's doing some OTB stuff, so we are going to raid Lifong now. Have a good one, ladies. I will be back, I don't know when. Would be nice to stream in the weekend at least once, so keep your eyes peeled for me. Bye.
That's the problem.
Chesscoachandras for the raid. Thank you so much. Let's go. Where's my record? You
Where
played with
does it
Naka
go,
today?
dude? It's lost.
How did that go, Andy?
wow, dude.
You have E5.
Yeah, E5, but that's so scary, dude.
E5, you take the rook.
No, E5, you can't. The queen protects.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking the other way.
Yeah, I know. The board flips me out. That's what I tell you.
No, but Polka, Andy's not their age. Andy's like 14.
And he's like half my age.
The kids are 8.
We're lost here.
I need these queens off right now. Dude.
I need
Stop
these
right
queens
now.
off right now.
I was gonna play Queen F5 and throw the game away.
Do it.
Alright, he could have done 1 minute timeouts too, like. Boom, boom.
Some are 10.
Is that too scary?
Yeah, Mr. Chesscoachandras, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it.
Gonna push.
Can someone give him a shout out, please? I blundered Rook G6. Wait, what do you mean?
Do it.
What do you mean I blundered Rook G6?
Really?
He's gonna take. Oh, I mean, I'm putting my king here too.
Put my king over here.
No, because then he goes check. Actually, it's fine.
I
Check.
blundered Rook
He's
G6.
he's one move away. He's not there yet. So maybe you have chances to. Here. No. You were right. You were cooking.
If I move up, he's gonna check me.
It doesn't matter because he's one.
I know he literally has nothing. So, yeah. Just all in. Literally nothing. Wait. You telling me that one base is good enough for him to come back? No. That's not how this fucking works. Literally has got nothing. What? He has a hidden base? He doesn't have a hidden base. Not when he took a third and it got destroyed and then his natural got destroyed. You kidding me? This 1-1 bio just kills all the fucking mech units and Vikings easily. That's all it is. Literally nothing else except for that. Okay.
Ready to pick up? Loud and clear. Understood. In the pipe, 5x5. Waiting on you. Light flights here. I heard that. Let's go. Inbound. Heading out.
Base is under attack.
Ready. Where's the emergency? Fired up here, Mama. Picking up or dropping off?
You're still live.